Hi, this is Tom and Amy Friedel, and we are franchise owners for about 14 years, and we're in Maumee, Ohio.
Before Padgett, we were both at Owens Corning. Spent a lot of years in different industry-related jobs, doing different controllership and business management type roles. Actually, Amy worked for Padgett when she was in college, and when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do when we grow up, so to speak, she mentioned, why don't we take a look at Padgett? And here we are. So we acquired a business, a book of business from a prior franchisee. And so we had the debt obligation to him, and then obviously our own living expenses and the obligations to that, plus some other obligations that we had to fulfill personally. So that was the biggest concern, was cash flow and whether or not the business could provide enough cash flow right from day one to be able to sustain all of the expenses that we had in our personal lives as well as the company. We used capital to some extent. Honestly, we kind of grew the business using 0% interest credit card loans for a few years, and different lines of credits that we had available that we just kind of rotated and revolved until we got to sufficient cash flow to be able to break free from that situation. I really wasn't concerned about making the royalty payments because that was just all part of the whole cost of running the business and the expenses. But you know, it was that support system, because I was asked a lot of times, why didn't we just start our own business? Why did we join a franchise? And really it comes down to the support system that Padgett has and communicated to us when we were looking at what to do. And that was the big reason why we joined the franchise.
I mean, we were both corporate accounting type roles, so the tax piece was kind of, you know, we had to do a lot of work on the front side of it. I mean, it's definitely doable. I mean, we did it, anybody can do it, but it was what was missing in our education.
Yeah, I think the piece that I was missing was how often tax law changes. And you know, in 13 or 14 years, I have never learned so much as I have learned these years. And you have to have an appetite to learn and to be able to interpret what's happening around you at the federal, state, and local levels. So, I mean, that would be the one thing that I didn't realize coming in, is how much tax law changes and how much you have to stay on top of that. But, you know, you adapt and figure it out, and it all goes well. Being part of a peer group of people and having other franchisees to be able to talk to is really valuable. But two, and more importantly, really, is having the system behind you, the tax support department. You know, I got some personal one-on-one coaching over the years about how to help me find my way to sell. You know, those things I wouldn't have been able to have if I wasn't part of the franchise, and to be able to get that coaching and overcome some of my obstacles to being comfortable selling, because it's just not inherent, I think, in most accountants. But you know, that system was there. Obviously, the relationships that Padgett has with the vendors is important to me, and allows us to leverage our cost structure, and that we're able to identify, you know, and have access to software and applications at discounted prices, which helps us be more competitive and allows us some flexibility. So those relationships with the vendors, I think, that Padgett has is also very important.
Be fearless, because if you don't try, you won't know. I mean, you won't, right? It's very, to let go of that W-2, it's very hard to let go of that W-2 and realize that you can do it on your own and you can get there. And, you know, that's, I mean, back to the support of, you know, the franchise, it's nice to have the support, because you don't just, it's not just, you know, you're not completely cut off. You have some source to go to. So it is I would say it's a more comfortable way to transition to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say plug in. I've often thought for years that how do the independent small tax preparing firms or accounting firms stay apprised of what's going on in Washington the way we are apprised of what's going on in Washington? I mean, with Roger constantly with the IRS or the Senate Finance Committee, and understanding and hearing first line or front of the line what's going on in Washington, so that he can then relay that to us. I think that's hugely valuable as part of the business. So my advice to somebody would be plug in to the network, right? Plug into your peer network, plug into the support network, use the tax support department as much as possible, use the resources that are available that Padgett provides to us. And the more you plug in, I think the better your chances of success are going to be.
And I don't always think it's inherent to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's, oh, I'll figure it out myself, or I'll keep continuing to look, and hours and hours go by, and it's like, well, you could have sent an email to tax support and had the answer back, within an hour, kind of thing. Even our own staff, it's like, okay, you got to send that to tax support, send that to, put in a ticket or whatever. So I think it's just, getting used to doing that, and relying on somebody other than yourself. Yep. Sometimes it's hard. Yep.
So we started out, the business was a couple $100,000 in revenue, and we're running right now just a little bit over 1.7 million. So we've been very fortunate with a great team of people to service a great group of clients that have allowed us to grow. When we sat down probably 10 years ago now and rolled out a strategic plan for our own business, we set some goals, and mine was actually to accomplish $1 million of revenue, and hers was to accomplish $1.5 million. So I think some of the major milestones, is one, winning Office of the Year and being recognized by Padgett, and then joining into the Hall of Fame. But then two, almost equally, or even maybe a little bit more importantly, is being recognized by our peers, as well as the home office, and being the first Walter Padgett Founders Award winner. That was totally unexpected, and really kind of a highlight moment for us, and kind of the culmination of the successes that, it was like the icing on the cake, I guess, of the successes that we've been able to have, that our peers, that while we've been succeeding, we've been able to help our peers such that they felt willing to recognize us for that, and that was a big success moment for me.
Well, you hear people talk about a million little things, right? I can remember there was a million little things that just started to add up and really help that situation. One would be just, being able to not worry about the cash flow to pay, the staff. I remember in the beginning, constantly watching, okay, we're good. Now I don't even think about that. I think about other things. So that's just one of the million little things that, made me just relax as the business started to grow and flourish.
Our employee benefits that we've been able to offer our employees for retention and reward and recognition and recruiting has grown over the years. We started out with really no benefits, and then we added a retirement plan, and then we added long-term and short-term disability, and then about 5 years ago we offered a group health insurance plan. And to be able to bring our employees who are so loyal to us those kinds of benefits has been very rewarding.
Right.
To us. And
that's really how I measure success. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I tell the staff all the time, so somebody got a new pool or somebody gets a new car and they pull in, I'm like, that's what makes me want to get up in the morning and work hard, is my staff is benefiting from working hard as well, and in turn we want to work hard for them. So I think it's just kind of like a mutually, rewarding relationship with them. So we're very lucky. I'll say we have the best staff, in Padgett, because I'm biased, of course, but that's my opinion.
And I think absolutely the staff, but the clients, and what we're able to do for our clients, and whether that's get them, they haven't filed taxes for 5 years, and get them filed, and then talk about installment agreements that they can afford, whether that's finding mistakes on prior returns and amending them, and helping them get money back that they never should have paid, that helping people, even just a business owner, and helping them reduce their phone bill or reduce their credit card fee, or you name it.
Millions of little things adding up.
There's just that side of it as well, when we can truly make an impact on a business owner's life. And honestly, the last 2.5 years, that's been our whole goal, is how do we help our clients stay in business? How do we help them survive the pandemic? And how do we, getting them access to PPP funds or EIDL loans or any other state or local government grants that were out there. Because
we knew, and the franchise also told us that would be an opportunity for clients for life, and it really is. So, and it was.
Yeah, I think for us it's probably both the staff and the clients.
Yeah.
Are what really get us out of bed, is helping them both out. And I don't know what's next. I just know that we want to keep helping people. Whether, whatever that looks like is to continue that path of helping people out, because that's really what's core to me inside my personality, and what fills my bucket is helping people. So it's I think the future looks like that.